The NFL draft is inching closer and closer, and ESPN's Matt Miller has his latest version of the 7-round mock draft for the New England Patriots. I'll break down Mr. Miller's picks, then give my opinion on who I think they should take, or if I do agree with what Miller has decided. Welcome to Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Allie Barefoot, and of course, the reason why we have this channel is that I speak, you speak, and then we talk about it. So here is my first question. Which position should the Patriots draft first? I've seen a lot of you guys saying offensive tackle, add another wide receiver with Stefon Diggs. Heck, I've even seen a lot of people saying Ashton Jeanty running back or tight end Tyler Warren. While I don't agree with a tight end or a running back, obviously it's your opinion. Go ahead and put it in the comment section down below. The Patriots have 9 total picks in 2025. Keep in mind we have no picks currently in round 6. But we do have 3 7th-round picks. I want to keep pick number 4. I've seen a lot of you guys saying if Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter is not available with pick number 4, trade down and get possibly Kelvin Banks or Teteroa McMillan. I don't see the point in trading down. I just don't. I think number 4 is a really good spot. There's a lot of great talent still at number 4, even if Carter and Travis Hunter are not there. So I do hope we stick with pick number 4, but I also do hope that this guy is available. Matt Miller has the Patriots taking Travis Hunter in round 1 with pick number 4 in the 2025 NFL draft. And obviously, this is my number 1 guy that I want to be a New England Patriot on either offense or on defense. But it's not up to me. And it's not up to ESPN's Matt Miller either. It's up to the New York Giants on whether or not Travis Hunter will come to the Northeast. Why? It's because the New York Giants completely just messed up our entire NFL draft strategy by signing Russell Wilson. Because now they have a quarterback. So the Giants might not need Shedeur Sanders, which means they might take Travis Hunter 1 spot higher than the Patriots. But if he is available, he will play for New England. And the reason why Matt Miller wants us to take Travis Hunter with pick number 4 is because he said, because of their free agency moves, the Patriots, they have an almost unlimited number of options with this pick. New England would be very, very, very lucky to have the Heisman Trophy winner fall to this spot. Hunter would be a day 1 starter at cornerback opposite Christian Gonzalez while working in 10 to 15 snaps per game in a revived receiving core that recently added Stefon Diggs. That is why you pick up the dual threat in the cornerback and the wide receiver. Because when you look at what he could be in your wide receiver room with Stefon Diggs as your wide receiver 1, then mixing in about 10 to 15, repetitions in there with the core, he is going to be lethal in whichever position that he plays. And he does want to play both ways. And I do think that Mike Vrabel would be the perfect coach for him because he played both ways in the NFL. A cornerback, a secondary with Carlton Davis, Christian Gonzalez, and Travis Hunter. Who's scoring? Who is scoring on the Patriots through the air with those 3 headhunters on our roster? Let me know. Pick number 2, round 2, pick number 38. Matt Miller does have him taking Josh Conerly Jr. from Oregon. And this is what I do agree with. I do think that if you get Travis Hunter in round 1, your automatic next pick needs to be an offensive tackle. We have got to address the left side of the line, left guard and the left tackle position. And I do think Josh Conerly would be an aggressive, punching, fast type of tackle to protect Drake May. And what he did last season kind of proves it. The 2024 PFF grades, almost 1,000 snaps overall, had a great blocking percentage. 78.1 was his grade. His pass block is even better than his run block. And I don't care if you play left tackle, right tackle, center, or you're handing out water. If you allow 1 sack doing your job, that is a guy that I want protecting our second-year quarterback in Drake May. Not to mention, still getting a top 5 offensive lineman per Mel Kiper's big board with the 2nd overall pick for the Patriots is huge. It's huge. I know it's not Will Campbell. I know it's not Armand Membo. I know it's not Kelvin Banks Jr., but Josh Conerly is probably the next big guy up that I would want playing for the Patriots. So, Do you want the Patriots to draft their starting left tackle? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm going to go Y for yes. I think free agency is starting to get a little bit slim, so I would rather our starting left tackle be fresh, be new, and come from the NFL draft. Let me know in the comment section down below. Coming in a pretty surprising move here with round 3, pick number 69, is Alec Iomanor. I think that's how you say his last name. I could definitely be getting that a little bit wrong here, but Alec was a surprising move for me because I had really not thought about the Patriots taking somebody other than Stefon Williams. And when I really did the research on Alec and thought, okay, why take him over somebody like Williams who has the same frame as a guy like Teterow and McMillan? Well, he actually has pretty impressive stats from his time at Stanford. And the reason why Matt Miller took Alec over Stefon Williams is because the wide receiver ranks as a primary need for New England. Thank you. Tell me something I don't know. Finding the polished Iomanor still on the board would be a sweet fit for the team that lacks a player who can win on underneath routes or fight off press coverage with size. And he is a really big guy, 6'2", compared to Stefon Williams, 6'4". And I know 2 inches does make a difference, but still, this is a pretty big guy at wide receiver. And what he did last year for Stanford, I really like his completion percentage. 61 receptions to 80 targets. 19 of his targets is what he missed. And we don't know what those look like. For 676 yards, he averaged 11 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns, but 6 drops. So he's definitely going to be a work in project. That's why he is a third-round pick. But overall, you've got Stefon Diggs. You've got possibly Travis Hunter if this NFL mock draft does come true. And then you have somebody like Pop Douglas. So you're not completely relying on Alec. However, if I'm Matt Miller, I'm still going with Stefon Williams because that's something you don't have in your wide receiver room right now. You really don't have that overwhelming size. You have that with Hunter Henry as your tight end, but I do still think a 6'4" target for Drake May would be better than a 6'2" target. It sounds crazy, I know, but when you compare their stats, they're not completely that different. The only difference is Stefon Williams runs about a 4.8 40, while Alec runs about a 4.4. That's where your difference really lies. Coming in with the second pick in round 3, pick number 77 is going to be Princely Umanmielen. And we've watched several videos on how to pronounce his name. The defensive end from Mississippi. So the Patriots go through 3 rounds before they pick up their first defensive player. And when I have read articles, when I have watched film on Princely, this is the number one thought that comes to my mind is that this guy will fit Mike Vrabel's mold so well. Over the last 4 seasons, he has wreaked havoc on quarterbacks. 17.5 sacks over the last 2 years. I don't care if it's college or peewee. We need guys that take down the quarterback. We sucked at sack production last year. So if you snag a very secret, sneaky defensive weapon in round 4 in Princely, then I do think he could possibly be another good depth option moving forward, possibly even somebody that can showcase their skills more down the line in training camp, going up with, guys like Keon White, guys like Harold Landry. So I do think it could be a good move at pick number 4 if he is, in round 4 if he is available. And like I said, from the articles that I have read, this guy is coming in here saying, I'm not sitting on the bench. I didn't come here to sit on the bench. I'm earning my playing time. I'm working my ass off. I'm going to do what it takes to get my time and help this team win. That is a Mike Vrabel guy if I have ever heard one. He wants guys that will help themselves to help the team. And that is why I think that'd be a pretty good snag there, and one I hadn't really thought of before Matt Miller pointed it out to me. But I have a question, though, because we went through round 1 through 3 drafting all offense, and then we picked up a defensive guy in the 4th round. What round did the Patriots draft their first defensive player, knowing we've already signed 7 defensive guys in free agency? Let me know in the comment section down below. We are going to talk about rounds 5 through 7, but first, let's talk about this. The New England Patriots have a great color scheme. I love it. And I want you guys to be able to rock both red and blue coming up later this year. in Gillette Stadium, and I'm going to get you guys a great deal. $30 for both of these shirts. That is $25 off their original listed price and free shipping. All you guys have to do is just use my link, chatsports.com/Patriots combo. That is going to get you guys a sweet deal with free shipping. Get it while sizes last. I will put that link in the comment section under this video. Click it. It'll take you right there, and you guys got some fresh new swag. Matt Miller has round 4 through 7. Keep in mind, Patriots do not have a round 6 pick as of right now. But I'm noticing a huge theme here for Mr. Miller with a guy like Ransom Moore, Higgins, Hancock, and McLaughlin. Number 1, Ohio State, get to know New England. Number 2, I'm seeing safety, DB, linebacker, CB, and then an offensive line. I'm very surprised that Matt Miller, after the Patriots free agency signings, decided to go with 4 defensive picks in 3 rounds for New England and 1 offensive. And that was round 7, last pick of the draft, which more than likely could be a player that you would cut. Now, I do think the Patriots could have some areas of improvement on the defensive side, but I feel like we have such a bigger area to fill on the offense that I probably wouldn't go 4 defensive guys towards the end of the draft. And I know some of those guys end up being cut, and it's not that big of a deal, but there are possibly some sleepers in those rounds that I would like to possibly try and snag for the offensive side. Because when you look at what the Patriots and Mike Vrabel have done in free agency, I think they've done a pretty good job of checking a lot of depth boxes for the linebacker room, the defensive line. They even added Marcus Epps as a safeties. I do agree we could use a little extra cornerbacks, but you still have some younger guys like Alex Austin, Del Pettis, Jalen Hawkins in the secondary. So I was pretty surprised when I didn't see more positions that the Patriots do actually need to bulk up. And take it with a grain of salt, because I don't think we're going to find, Ashton Genty level of players in round 7. But I do think that with round 5 through 7, we should be looking at maybe best player available at the running back, at a safety, or at a kicker. The Patriots do not have a kicker right now. We can trade for one. We can pick one up in free agency, but you could also try and develop a guy who's later in the NFL draft to become your starting kicker. And right now we have Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson at your running back position. Maybe there's a sleeper towards round 5 that the Patriots could possibly try and snag if it's the best player available. And with Jabril Peppers and Kyle Duggar both dealing with injuries, possibly another depth piece to the safety room or cornerback room I wouldn't be upset with. But 4 out of 5 defensive picks? That might be a little too much for me after we just signed 7 defensive players in free agency. Plus, with round 5 through 7, with 4 picks that we have there, you can also possibly still use those in trade packages for a guy like Chris Olave or Jacoby Myers. So you don't have to necessarily think that, whatever player we get there is who we're stuck with. We can use those guys rather than picking up defensive players later in the draft, trade them away before the NFL draft does start. So overall, this was ESPN's Matt Miller's mock draft with a little Allie Barefoot flair. So grade this mock draft A, B, C, D, or F, rounds 1 through 7. How did you guys like it? As always, the draft is right around the corner, so be sure to hit that sub button for me on Patriots Today by Chad Sports.